Hi, my name is Logan Kochevar, and so for the interview assignment, I interviewed an older adult. I interviewed my grandmother, who is 85 years old. I really actually love this assignment, and I am really grateful for the opportunity it gave me to learn more about my grandma and just some of her life experiences, and especially her experiences like aging and becoming older. And just was able to have some really interesting conversations with her that I don't think I would have been able to have otherwise if it wasn't for this assignment. And some of the things that I learned that were really interesting over the past 10 years, she's had some interesting like health issues, um, a lot of which she's been very grateful for like modern medicine because she's been able to receive treatments that weren't available to older people in just 10 or 20 years back. But something that was really interesting to me was that even though she's had an overall experience with healthcare and with her medical teams, she did during one of her stays at a hospital, she contracted the disease C. diff, which is an infection. And even though she was able to be treated for that, it did have a lot of lasting effects. And just to hear her kind of like bitterness towards that was interesting. And to think about like there's a lot of infections that older people are more susceptible to, especially within hospitals and healthcare settings. So it's kind of definitely an issue that I don't think we think about a lot, that there's a lot of illnesses that older adults contract within healthcare settings, the place where they're supposed to be being healed. It was also an interesting conversation to talk about the COVID-19 pandemic. And the hardest thing for her has just been the isolation, kind of being apart from family and friends. My grandma, she's a very social person. Usually she's seeing friends every week, and she has a lot of the same friends that she's had since elementary school. And one of the things that's been hardest about that is because just she's getting to that age where most of her friends are starting to die off, so it's been really hard for her not to be able to spend that time with them because she knows how crucial and how limited that time is. And so I could definitely tell there was a little bit of pain in that. I think overall the biggest things the biggest takeaways I had from this assignment were some of the things that my grandma taught me or told me in her responses, just some of the things she's learned about life and some of the regrets that she has. One of the biggest things that she emphasized was just that she really feels like she could have accomplished more and done better and been better in her life if she would have just been more confident in herself. And if she wouldn't have been so concerned about how other people perceive her, and she just kind of did her own thing and believed in herself, she thinks she could have accomplished a lot more things and been more successful in her life. And I think that was really interesting because I think we let the perceptions of other people that the other people have for us kind of stop us because we're afraid of how other people are going to perceive us. We're afraid of failing. We're afraid of that embarrassment. So that was really interesting. She also talked about how she wished she spent more time enjoying the good times in her life rather than dwelling on the bad times. And I think we all have the habit of when bad things happen, we dwell on them. And then a lot of times we don't even recognize the good times until they've already passed. And so a lot of these answers that she gave were just really good reminders to me about what I should be focusing on and some shifts I should have in my perspective towards life and the way I'm living my life. And let's see if there's anything else. Let me look at my notes. Yeah, and one of the biggest things she talked about aging was that one of the biggest challenges in growing older is learning to accept the things she has no control over. And I was like, wow, that's such a good thing for all of us to do, no matter our age, is learning to accept that there's things in our lives we don't have control over. And so the sooner we can get over those things and move past them, the sooner we can continue to enjoy our lives and focus on the things that we do control. But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed this assignment. I learned a lot about the experiences of an older adult, and it was cool to be able to do this assignment with my grandmother and learn more about her. Thanks.